We told you why you are alive now. Those are the words I heard last night, and they came from Wilhelm, so that meant I was supposed to tell you today. And those words came from a message that came through on this date in 2020. And it was to tell you that you're alive now because you're supposed to do something really wonderful, and it's within you, and it's being brought forth now, and that's why the world looks the way that it does, because it's waiting for you to awaken to who you are and understand why you are alive now and your worth and value. And my life was spent developing something that could tell you that. We never know who we're going to become when we come into this world, and having done this is not something I would have told you I could have done, but I'm going to tell you today because I know what you can do. And that's really what I want you to understand. At 74 years old, I know that you can accomplish anything. And the work that I have been given from Wilhelm tells me that anyone can do that, and our world could do that as well. Now, that was a bridge too far for me to think that I had been given that, just like what you have might have been something that you couldn't believe you could do, but I'm telling you that you can. And you're going to understand it because what I'm going to do is read the message. What happened last night, I heard that sentence, and everything is consciousness. We must understand that, how we hear things. And I know that we are all connected to this divine consciousness because that's the work that I've been given, and you will understand it when you hear this. So when I got up, they said, just go to that message now, put down the other messages, because there's an organization that I have just discovered in the universe, and it's alignment, because I can find certain messages and they'll just lead me back to a greater understanding. And that's what we're all here to do, is to raise consciousness. All that happened is that I lived my life where Wilhelm gave me this work that we could raise our consciousness, create very extraordinary lives for ourselves, and also create the world that we all want to see. And they gave us very specific ways of going about that, and it was to love who we are. That's all that it is. But it's that journey of getting there, and journey individually, but also in our world, in collectively. And so that's why they wanted me to look at this in a much greater way. This information, this philosophy was for humankind. That's what it was. So, and which is why, again, I am putting all this together. I've done so little in terms of putting this work out there, and that's what I am committing my life to now. And I'm going to take it so much larger and talk to so many other people, because I know, because I'm going to get more promotion help in this, because I know that this work, anybody who does it, they start to understand who they are. They love themselves. We would see a very different world if more people could do that. And the only thing that's holding us back is belief. It's difficult for me to believe that this had happened, just like it's probably difficult to believe what has happened for you. But I also know that there's nothing that's happening, nothing accidentally is occurring. It's just not happening in your life or in our world. We just don't always understand it, but it's an organization of energy that I was given this privy, so to speak, to understand and interpret. That's why I can give it to you. But what I'm going to do is read these messages, because I think that most people won't listen to all of this, but I want to get it out there because I want you to understand, and everyone else. I didn't know that I had done this. You don't know what you can do either. It's always something that's developing within us. So for 35 years, I didn't know that all this work, that even though it was healing my life and doing all of that, but I didn't know it was going to turn into a broader philosophy for the world, basically, for any person who wants to use it. Now, everybody's not going to do that because they won't believe it. I didn't believe it either, so I do understand. However, when I read these to you, this will just help you for today. And hopefully, because of where we are in our world now, coming up to the holidays, you'll remember it going through that period, because we're going to move through some other energetic times, and that's what Wilhelm has given me, to how to understand the changes of the energies that are affecting us mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. That's what's going on. So you will love these messages and have a great holiday. But also check out all of my work, and you'll see that I'm going to be putting so much out there so you can understand how brilliant you are and why you are alive now. December 19th, 2024. We told you why you are alive now. At the same time, you might not have believed that, like our messenger. We decided to remind you today because you are needed. We will give you a few messages from this state as we are determined to convince you of your worth and value in your world now and before your holidays nothing could be more appropriate. December 19th, 2013. Any frustration that you might be experiencing in your outside physical life is a reflection of some particular frustration you are holding with yourself in your inner life. Your first instinct usually is to attempt to fix something in the outer life, but that will only be a temporary solution, for there is something far more important within you that you would do well to allow yourself to see and ask for its resolution. This is all part of the expansion and evolvement that you sought. None of this is hidden from you as you may think, but it may be blocked from your awareness by your unwillingness to do whatever is necessary to make those changes you desire manifest in your outside world. This is indeed an inner job. Wilhelm. December 19th, 2014. There is indeed a theory of relativity that applies to you personally, and in seeking to understand it and adapt it for your purposes, you can transform your life experience. The theory of relativity means that anything you observe in the physical world will only be relative to you and therefore affect your experience of life depending on how you perceive and interpret what you observe. This will remind you of a story you recently read about two men of incredible wealth. One built his identity on that wealth, and when he lost it, he lost his own identity and committed suicide. The other man made it his mission to get rid of his wealth and use it purposefully in the world. This provided him with his own sense of identity, and he lived a long life. There you have it. Wilhelm. December 19th, 2015. This is a big one, so study it closely. One of your biggest fears is that of being abandoned and feeling left alone. This is a natural experience for all souls to some degree because of being birthed into the physical world. Your first experience is separation from the safety of the womb, then being thrust into the unknown world. Now, this affects all souls differently, and all will do different things to avoid that experience again. You will withhold love and affection from others because of the fear of it not being reciprocated and therefore triggering the experience of abandonment. This is a major difficulty for all relationships, especially personal ones. It causes jealousy and disagreements, for it is strangely less difficult to experience that rather than abandonment. The cure is for you to come to know that you can never be abandoned, for you are an eternal spiritual being, always safe, and you are the one who provides that safety in your own knowing of this fact. Wilhelm. December 19th, 2016. Your physical life experience might be compared to taking a ride on a Ferris wheel. At times, the use of metaphors can be fun and helpful, for they help you gain a mental picture, physical feeling, and even emotional reaction to what is being explained. The Ferris wheel is continually in motion, as is your life. You can imagine the feeling of going higher, and also the descent, which at times can cause you to experience a pit in your stomach, and even a bit of excitement in that experience. This is precisely what you do and experience in your life. The goal for you now is to become comfortable with and accepting of the process itself, for this is indeed what you could call life. Wilhelm. December 19th, 2017. Some time ago, you wrote consistently about the integrity of your life experience. You noticed the other day that the subject recently had not been so prominent in your purview, and that is because you have assimilated the idea and used it well, but then also discovered a desire of yours is to share that wisdom with others, and you are finding a way of doing so. Now you will also notice that you were trying to figure out this message before it came through. And that is the very difficulty you and all others have in your life. If you were to trust that integrity of your life does exist, you would see it. Study the definition of integrity again and apply it to your life. Wilhelm. December 19th, 2018. You all experience throughout your lives what feels to you to be moments of euphoria. We are using that word in its broadest meaning. You had such a moment last night, and while it did not surprise you, you could still also notice your reluctance to dive in and enjoy it wholeheartedly, as it were. Give yourself time. When you step into a new dimension in your own life, it can feel unnerving to you, for as you know, that is that old unknown. You are, however, embracing it more, as noted merely by the way you approach it now fondly. Euphoria then occurs when you feel the real you. Congratulations. Wilhelm. October 19th, 2019. You don't know until you know. That riddle holds the key to life as well as the dilemma humans face during their lives. Roger is an excellent example of this. This morning we led him on a journey to help explain this. First, we had him watch a video of a counseling session given by another, where Roger experienced quite vividly what he knew he could bring to the conversation through his wisdom. Then we told him that he knew this because he had empirical evidence. Roger has never used that word, so we had him look it up. Then it got better. We told Roger to look up another word he never uses, and that was salient. Now we will tie all this together, as it will not only help many of you understand and accept yourselves, but Roger as well. Now, we have often said Roger does not speak on things he doesn't know for sure are true and accurate. This process for him has felt slow, but once he has empirical evidence, then his actions and behaviors become salient. The point of this is that many of you do not trust yourselves, your guidance, or what you might be hearing, as Roger didn't. But now he is ready to share this with humanity, which you each will do in your lives when you have the proof you seek. Your answer is in the title of this message. You must do what is in front of you to know. Sit with this for a bit. Wilhelm. December 19th, 2020. Here is why you are alive now. As we said yesterday, it was to move through limitations, but that must originate within you, which is why you decided to live through this restructuring. We know that sounds strange to many of you, so we decided to be a bit more creative today to prove our point. We will use portions of our previous messages to make a point about this moment in your human experience. We are pointing out that it is your human experience to help you understand the limitations you hold because you operate in linear time and we do not. We have given Roger messages over decades that began to make sense to him in this moment of now as it will for you. One thread we gave have given Roger was to do his job, which is the same for each of you. You were born to fulfill a role in your evolutionary journey, and that adds to the evolvement of all that is, for you are all one. But you are not all doing the same jobs, and all jobs are essential but only matter if you do them. We have told Roger he came to be love, but he never accepted that and didn't know what it meant. When the pandemic began, he suddenly understood. He would make every effort for the good of all, but he also faced judgment, as he has for eons, and allowed it to hold himself back, as you have done. Yesterday, Roger discovered the earbuds he had in his drawer. Roger struggled with finding just the right ones so he could hear clearly, and he didn't know why he had put these away. They appeared to work fine, but upon using them today, he did notice why he put them away before, and that was they do have a bit of static. Yes, we are using those words and quotes strategically. You each have allowed outside noise not to hear your inner calling, for you do each have one. Many are concerned about money at this time, and we told Roger some time ago how to get it, but he was unwilling until he owned himself and began doing his job, and the same will be valid for you, and might be one of your reasons to be alive now. September 5th, 2015. Money in and of itself holds no intrinsic value. It is merely a form of energy exchange, and every soul will use it in a particular manner that serves them. You have been unconsciously using it as a motivating factor. In other words, when your deepest held desire is to expand and become more, you will restrict that money or energy flow from coming to you so that you might do something to expand. April 18th, 2018. You were being prepared. Attempt to hold that idea in your consciousness as you think about your life so far. When you approach it in this manner, the events, circumstances, and experiences you have had begin to make sense. This process, then, is far different from you judging yourself for what you have done or not done in your life, or thinking something has gone wrong. Nothing has ever gone wrong. It is that you only come to understand this later. The reason you were being prepared is so that you would accept your greatness truly. July 2nd, 2017. Everyone is born with a purpose or a particular job to do. No purpose or no job is more important than another, and all are necessary or essential for your world to expand continually. You will be fine. Wilhelm.